Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Subrata Sarker. I'm a mechanical engineer working in manufacturing industry since last 20 years. Today I'm going to discuss the topic employability. In a simple way, employability means your ability to get jobs, isn't it? Now, having qualification is obviously not the quality of employability. A lot of their other qualities are very much important and plays a great role. Rather, qualification is less important for getting employability. Now, in employability, is a untapped area that I can say. What I mean, like those candidates who are coming for interview to get a job, they are not up to the mark. So those who are up to the mark, the organization is taking them. Those who are not up to the mark, nobody is taking care of them. An institution has created those level of the students. So it is basically area which is not getting addressed, because every organization wants ready-made people, and they are expecting that after passing out from institutions, the students will be readily deliverable to the industry. There are four areas. One is those who will be getting the jobs, the institution, the government, and the job provider. These four has a great role to play in these areas. As per statistics, it is said that in India, 3% MBAs are employable only. 97% MBAs are underemployable. Today, the MBAs are doing security guard jobs of payment range, say 15,000 rupees per month. So quality of the education is very, very important. Also, 10% engineer are employable today in India, as per statistics say, and 17% graduate on an average for the other sciences, commerce altogether is employable. So on an average, say 80 to 85% pass out students are not employable in India. This is the present scenario, and this is a very untapped area which needs to be addressed. When a person is employable, if you say, in a reality, you can say that he should have a necessity soft skill to function in an office environment or corporate environment, you could say. He should have the ability to maintain and retain his job. It's not that somehow he got chance in the organization for the jobs and then someone else will take care. He has to perform and retain his jobs. That's very important, and benefit himself and the society through these jobs. That's what you can say employability. Now, I'll share some statistical data, or you can say that taken both from the people, the concerned people of the group, and data is saying in India the education and employability link. People say 60% is linked, 40% is not linked. And if you say the assessment, like someone has got passed with 85%, 90% in this graduation or master degree, and they are not, the standard is very below actually what is expected in the industry, then there is a big question about the assessment process of the colleges and universities, isn't it? So it says that 52% people are agree that assessment is okay. Rest 48% people say the present assessment process in university and colleges are wrong actually. It is not linked with the what is needed in industry or where they will be getting jobs. And also the technology which are presently be taught are available in institution and what is in industry, there is a huge gap. So after going through those from this institution, when they are coming into this industry, they find there is a mismatch. So technological gap, 38% people is agree. And employment is obviously there is a gap actually. Now, so for employability, you need basically four things. One is knowledge, one is education, one is skill, another is ability. A lot of other qualities are very important, which are not addressed in colleges and every other institution actually, but which is needed. And today, as I said, the 3% MBAs are employable, 10% engineers are employable, 15% graduates are employable. Then this underemployability is a much bigger problem than employment. Today there may not be, job is not creating, so people are not getting jobs. But even job is created, people are incapable to serve or deliver. So that's a big problem actually. So, when organizations select person, for their organization, what they look for actually, not the certificate or qualification or the marks. Because say for a post of an engineer, obviously every candidate will be engineer, isn't it? And if you see the marks, so everybody will have a 70 to 90% mark in Berlin. So basically qualification or certificate is not a differentiator, you can say. Your a lot of soft skill are the differential basically. Your attitude towards the work and other internal qualities, that are the actually your age for employability or the employer is looking for. You'll see in many all newspaper and everywhere, you'll find that this 20% people, 17% students are this only employable, rest are not employable, their quality is not up to the mark. You'll find a lot of big HR leaders are saying this. We are taking a lot of initiative for improving skills and all these things. They're doing, people are taking a lot of initiative for skill development, but that's not enough actually. This skill which are needed to deliver the jobs in the industry, that should be an integrated part of the course. It is not that after passing out for the main course they will learn some skill development, some soft skill. It shouldn't like that actually. It should be integrated things into the course actually. Then you don't need additional skill development courses. The engineering course or graduation course or other business course, that should be such that it is very close to the requirement of the industry actually. And many organizations also find that 4% is doing one person's job. It can be done by one person. This is because the people are inefficient. That's why actually. You'll find in many countries, I've seen in Germany when I used to work there, say, I'm talking about the workshop environment. Say one welder doing some welding jobs, a lot of components are putting together, doing welding. Everything for a single workstation is done by a single welder. You'll find in Indian manufacturing culture, manual work is there. There is a one senior welder, then one junior, two helper person. So everywhere there is a one skilled person along with that two unskilled person. So this is actually the question of this output and capability. So this type of working culture needs to be it's not today it's not competitive actually, as I can say. And if you find this total statistics for employment, you'll find more than 50% jobs are general sales and marketing jobs and BPO jobs. So this is not very attractive actually. After passing out a lot of special courses, if people needs to join in BPOs and all these things, so what is the use of actually? I know many people, even they are doing a lot of master degrees in microbiology and all these things, and now they're working in BPOs. Even engineers who are working in BPOs, call centers. A plus 2 student or a student plus 10 who can speak good English can work in BPOs. What is the need of doing after doing master degrees and all these things? Because there are two things. One is, these organizations and government or industry is not able to create good jobs, and people are passing on day by day, and the quality of the education is also deteriorate, because the education is also in some directions going up business actually. And if you find that this how much additional job is creating every year, on an average it is 1% only, and how much student is passing out every year. So that is always a mismatch between the demand and supply. Very less demand, supply is more. So day by day this unemployment is getting increased. This is a big problem for the countries. Unless there are two things. One is government needs to create a lot of jobs through industrialization, a massive industrializations, and education level also needs to be improved. You'll find that the least employable engineers are passing out in India from Tamil Nadu. You'll find in South India hundreds of engineering institutions, both sides of the road. If you drive for 500 kilometers, surely you will get 10 engineering colleges left, right. And there is no a single boys in a family of South India who has not pass out engineering. But what is the use of that if the this quality of education is such, and after passing out people are not getting jobs? But there are industries where there is a lot of employment is getting increased. The compounded annual growth is very much, like healthcare industry is improving like anything. So a lot of people are getting jobs in healthcare industry. If I conclude this presentation on the employability, global employability statistics, what say actually? Because last 10-15 minutes I'm talking about India's employability conditions. So what about the conditions for the rest of the world? Let's have a look on the graph. Here in US, the 40% people pass out is employable, and you'll find in Germany, then UK, then Canada, then China, then France, and then Australia. After that, turn come of India. It means highest employability of the graduate is 40% in US, and in India it is 17% as on date. So this needs to be improved a lot. So we find this presentation is informative and interesting and important. You can share with your friends, or especially those who are into these employment in different areas they are working. And if you have not yet subscribed my YouTube channel, you can subscribe my channel so that you can get the notification for my upcoming presentation. Thank you very much for your attention and time.